The motorsports world is where legends are made, the unthinkable happens, and barriers are broken. One man harnesses the power of an industry every week. This is the General Tire Down and Dirty Show, powered by Polaris RZR, with Jim Beaver.
Welcome out here to King of the Hammers and the General Tire Down and Dirty Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Out here with Polaris RZR and their compound. They're doing some, some demo rides. Jim Beaver, T-Stone, and I don't know, another King of the Hammers, Tiff.
I'm so excited. It's kind of like a playground, and we always keep saying it. Every time we keep talking about it, it's Burning Man for off-road enthusiasts.
Yeah, it's definitely up your wheelhouse. You look forward to this every year.
I look so, because this is it. Like, where's the best place I can take my Jeep? I can drive up back door. No, lied. I can drive up Chocolate Thunder.
I was going to say, I want to see this when you go back door.
I will. When I get my race Jeep, I will end up doing that. But going up, Chocolate Thunder, being able to be here, seeing everybody else, the UTVs are starting to really come through, so it's kind of cool to see that. But I like seeing different types of Jeeps, different types of vehicles. I know you have to feel the same way when you see certain RZRs as well.
Yeah, and I love this because, you've got the UTV part of it, but honestly, I'm super familiar with the UTVs, but I don't get to see Ultra Force compete very often. And just yesterday, seeing some of them, doing some testing and some pre-running and things like that and going through some of these rock sections, you watch a UTV go through there and they're kind of picking their way through, but you watch an Ultra 4 and they're just full-on beast mode, just like nothing going, just mowing things.
No, exactly. And we've always talked about that this is such a huge race that if you finish the race, no matter where you're at, that's a huge success, accomplishment. And Jason Shearer, he was also saying, he's like, listen, I've won this back-to-back, and I winched 4 times last year. So if you're winching yourself 4 times and you're still winning the race, that kind of shows you how difficult this really is because you have the desert section and the rock section. So you kind of need to build something either for both or what you're really strong in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, for sure. So, we are doing a show out here at the Polaris compound, I guess. Guests today, I think we've got Sarah Price, Amy Quintero. We've also got Wayne and Kristen Matlock. Looking forward to that one. We got Brett Carpenter swinging by, and also might have Seth Quintero popping in at the end of the show as well. Maybe some surprise guests as well. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen out here at KOH, but looking forward to it. We're going to take a short commercial break. We return. We're going to get things started off here with Sarah Price and Amy Quintero here on the General Tire Down and Dirty Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RZRLife to share your story. Anywhere is possible. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire's wide variety of tires for whatever it is that you drive. Whether you're looking for off-road capability balanced with impressive on-road performance or ultra-high performance offering all-season traction designed with a driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has what you need to get where you're going. General Tire, providing anywhere is possible with a Down and Dirty radio show since 2012. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out visionwheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more. Okay, out here at King of the Hammers, I've got T-Stone and myself, obviously, and joined by Sarah Price. And I almost said more importantly, but we've got super celebrity Amy Quintero here.
We do.
I feel like the whole theme, at least, like, I think we all follow the same accounts on social media, or at least on Instagram. I feel like right now, like, everybody, like, seriously, I think you've got the entire, like, Team RZR and everybody, like, everybody's, like, zoned in on Amy Quintero. Like, everybody's so stoked for you.
Sandwich mom turned now co-driver in King of the Hammers, the toughest co-driving event there is.
Yeah, so I'm nervous, not going to lie, but Sarah's taken me out these last couple of days, and I'm feeling comfortable, but this is definitely out of my comfort zone. I'm not used to this at all.
How rad is it to have Seth and having your husband now, like, pitting for you guys? Like, this is total, like, everything's, like, flipped upside down, right?
Totally. So even when they first got here, because I got here before they did, I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. You guys are doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, taking care of the dogs. Like, I'm going to do what you guys do. Sit around and just wait for race day.
I feel like it now, like, when we go to, like, the Mint or some of those, like, later on, like, do you feel like maybe things they'll be a little bit easier on you?
No.
No. Are they going to make it harder now?
Because I know what goes on out there now,
Yeah.
probably. I think just because he's still a baby boy, you know, I'm still going to be nervous on the line when he goes and be scared the whole race and just walking around with, you know, trying to figure out what to do with my time until I hear that radio chirp, and I don't know. This is all new to me. This is, I'm 42 years old. Like, I'm out racing King of the Hammers. Like, this is crazy.
She's racing it before Seth and Air Dog.
Yeah.
I know, that's what's cool, I think. Now you're going to be the one to be able to coach them and be like, no, this is what you do.
That's all I've been saying when we pre-run. I was like, you're going to be able to teach Seth some stuff.
Now, see, this may have actually created a monster because Seth would be like, Mom, I want you riding with me next year or something.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants me. Well, it's so weird. Like, so with Sarah, I've been so comfortable. And, we're doing 75, 80 down through the desert sections. But the boys, like, from the car with Aaron or Seth, they go over 30, and I'm, like, hitting them. Like, slow down. Slow down. So.
Well, you guys have known each other, for a long time. So I think that's probably, like, I don't know, you guys are friends. Like, you've got that, I don't know. It's like a different dynamic.
No, I full on called her, and I was like, hey, you want to try King of the Hammers and ride with me? And she's like, this old lady? And I was like, you're not old. I was like, number one. And two, yeah, come on, let's up for the challenge. Let's do it. And then she's like, I don't know. And she thought about it for a while, but the boys were persistent on her. And so she's like, these boys, I swear, I got to hate them because I'll do it. Yeah. And I'm like, yes. And then we went out pre-ran. We tested the race car. That was the first time we have, still Reed Nordine. He's my mentor and all the rocks and everything, and he has since I've been racing. So he's kind of taken us under his wing, and he's the rock god. And then, we've been pre-running out here since we got the course, and it's been good. It's been a fun time.
Well, how did you think of Amy? I mean, you made the call. Like, how did the whole thing spring up? Like, was this just a plan you hatched in your head? Like,
honestly, I just was like, who would be really fun to co-drive with me? Like, when we're down in Baja, it's so serious all the time because, I want to do so well with such a big opportunity. And when we come here, it's like, I don't have anything to prove here at King of the Hammers. Like, King of the Hammers, a lot of it is luck. A lot of it is preparation. And a lot of it is just relaxing and being able to stay calm. And so I was just like, I don't know, who would be fun? Like, you have her whole family who is, like, the best team ever. And so I'm like, why not Amy? Like, I don't know. I don't know why I thought of Amy. She even asked me today, she goes, why did you, like, ask me and not them? And I'm like, I don't know. I just had that gut feeling. I just wanted to ask you.
I think that's awesome. Have you taken her up any obstacles yet, or any of them? Which one?
All of them.
Her face just totally changed. Yeah. Which one was the scariest for you then?
I don't really remember any of the names.
Wrecking Ball, maybe?
Wrecking Ball yesterday.
Yeah, I would say that probably was the one that maybe got you. And then we went to the qualifying course, and I did one lap just to see where we were going, and then I went full race pace kind of parts, and she was like, whoa, I'm so glad I don't have to do this with you.
How was the first time down backdoor?
We didn't do that. We don't do that.
Yeah,
you didn't?
No.
Did
Why?
you go up Chocolate Thunder?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I've done Chocolate Thunder twice in my Jeep. I've taken the race line, and that's still scary. That's why I want to know, as somebody who's never been there, what is the scariest one? So you could be like, Tiffany, kind of stay away from that one.
Yeah, backdoor is going to be the scariest, but we don't do that until race day because there's no reason for me to take my pre-runner down there and roll it if we don't make it. So I'm like, when it comes to race day, we know where we need to do and go, and we just kind of hope for the best down backdoor, and that's what everyone's doing. So
there was a couple, we were out there was a few guys first ever time down backdoor, and we watched them yesterday, and they were They were really green. It was sketchy. Like, I was scared for them.
Yeah.
And it was funny because Jeremy McGrath comes up and, he'd never raced here before. And he walks up and he walks up and he's like, "What's going on, Jimmy?" I was like, nothing. And he's like, "Yeah, I haven't been down this yet." And he starts looking and he's like, "Man, this is dug out pretty good." And he goes, "There's a bunch of rocks over there." He goes, "I think I know what I'm doing tonight." He's going to go fill in the hole. And it was funny, though. But it's just, Kristen Matlock, her and I, we spent probably 2 hours at Backdoor yesterday, just me and her and Brittany Cardone just talking.
Yeah.
And Kristen, same thing. She's like, "I'm not going down this." She looked and she's like, "This is kind of intimidating." And she's like, "Guess I'm just going to send it on race day. Like, just forget it. We'll just."
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do. It's like that in that scenario. It's like you have the option to get out, have a rope holding down the rear of the car, maybe help you, and then put max tracks at the bottom. But other than that, it's like you're kind of on your own and just hoping that the car falls in the place where it needs to, and you just feel it finesse. But there's no way to finesse that because it is so dug out now. So you're just going to go down, and the moment you need to try getting throttle, you hope that your wheels catch and they take you forward and not, backwards, and all this pirouetting I keep seeing on Instagram.
It's crazy. Brandon Sims trying to it was...
The problem is, for me, is that we do it twice. We have to do that twice.
But
you can always get out, I guess, right? You can get out and let her do it and then jump back in.
And you know what to
crap
expect.
I would get, though, if I got out. My family
just by your family. I was like, I don't think anybody would really say anything, but of course, yes, your family.
Actually, you know what the funny thing is people in this industry respect you so much. Other than your family, I don't think anybody would give you crap because nobody really wants to screw with Amy Quintero.
That's what I was saying.
Like here's the mom that gave birth to Seth. Like, nobody's going to screw with you, right?
No.
Like, literally, it's going to be crickets. Seth and your husband, yes. Everybody else, nobody's going to say a word.
We're going to have the biggest pit crew and cheering squad, I think, because it's like everyone's so stoked.
We're getting a lot of, please, you guys have comms in the car because we've got to hear this footage. What's going on out there? Amy's screaming probably, but
you know what's funny? And it's like, I think like all of us that have been around the industry, like you and your husband have done a phenomenal job with Seth, and I think everybody loves that kid. But I feel like all of us, I've got pictures with Seth from years ago, and it's like, I feel like all of us are like, he's got so many uncles and aunts in this industry. Like, seriously, like, everything has happened. Like, I think all of us are so happy for him, and it's like, I feel like you guys have grown up a phenomenal kid, but the rest of us, I feel like we all
you guys all chipped in.
Yeah, we've all chipped in, and like, and it's
takes
like
a village.
Yeah, and it's funny because like Seth will go and do something, and it's like I think he knows like he's got so many people that would be like, no, get back in line. He just never even.
100%. And this race community is so great, and Aaron has made, quite a few. Connections to everybody knows Air Dog at this point, but Seth's one of those kids where he started in the 170 and they have seen his progression in the sport, so everybody just likes, I think they just like him as in general, and they want to see him do good, and so they give him the best advice, and I couldn't ask for a better community to help raise this boy in, that's for sure.
You think Seth's like a good kid when you meet him, and he's even better behind closed doors. Yeah. And that says a lot about someone. It's cool to see such a humble human being do so well and get the opportunities he does.
Well, I really feel like when somebody's super passionate about it, you can see it. You can't fake the passion. And so like what you were saying, Amy, is like the community coming together. It's like, all right, we want to help this kid. We want to help him because he is passionate about it. There's so many people out there who get the opportunities that aren't really passionate. And like you said, behind closed are just not a nice person.
Yeah.
So it's like when all the things come together and you have really cool parents too at the same time and like great friends to be able to do it, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And like you said, Seth's probably going to come ask Amy some tips and some notes later on in life and be like, are you sure, Mom, you don't want to co-drive with me? Are you sure about this?
It's not even just, like their whole family is passionate about it. Amy's passionate about it. Air Dog's passionate about it. Like their whole team surrounding them. Like my car here is taken care of because Air Dog's on it. We have pit captain on. The boss man is got the car handled. And that's just awesome. Like they're here with her and helping every which way they possibly can, and making it easier for everyone. And so.
But to be honest, Sarah, if I was not in that seat and you needed help, we would all be out here for you.
Of course, yes. Yeah. And that's what's even better is that, we always have, like, our family here.
Oh, and that's, like, it's funny with the whole Team RZR, like, circling it back, though. But, like, we can be at a race, and, we've got, like, group texts and things like that, but it's like I know at a race, if I've got a problem, I can go to the Quinteros, I can go to Sims, I can go to the Guthries. Like, there's a list of people I can go to for help, and I know they're all there. We're not pitting together Romos, it's like we're not pitting together, but I know one text message, any of us would go to war for each other, and I think that's what's kind of cool. And I've been with a lot of sponsors and a lot of brands, but I've never had that family feeling that I do with RZR.
That's a cool thing, like even being here, like, Craig Scanlon's out here testing his new car, and their team brought out their chase trucks. They're like, hey, we have all the parts that work for your guys' car. We're going to pit for you, Matlocks, that guy, the really funny guy. I don't know him. Everyone keeps talking about him, and I met him, and I was like, I hear about you. I haven't met you yet, so good to meet you. And then, like, the Matlocks, even same thing. They're like, cool, so, like, we're going to, even the same thing, like, whoever's in front of each other, like, we're going to bring parts to them if they need it in the pit. Like, hey, Wayne or Sarah, whoever needs this, like, bring it in your car and give it to them on the trail. Like, we have our little family, and it's like they're all out here to help in any which way they can. And it's just so cool. Like, we're all competitors, and it's just, we're a family too.
Yeah. So, circling back, race day, obviously we got Power Hour later today. You're in Power Hour, but, what's the game plan for race day here? You've done this so many times, Sarah. What's the game plan here,
Well, I've done good qualifying here, and maybe that's why they put me in Power Hour, but I don't know why. Otherwise, because I've never done very well at King of the Hammers.
Kristen Matlock's the same way. Kristen's like, why? And we've got Wayne sitting down here. We're going to interview him.
And Wayne already qualified.
Yeah, Kristen's like, why am I in Power Hour 1? And she's like, 2, why am I in it and my husband isn't?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, we were on this email with all of us, and I was like, Wayne, you're not in Power Hour? What's going on? But no, it's just to keep it together, honestly. And that's going to be the biggest thing, is just stay calm and collected, and don't make any big major mistakes, and try to make it through.
This is a weird one too, because I know, like, at one point you unfortunately, I think, were one that rolled over in a weird spot one year or something, and it's like, but I hate to use you an example, but it's like there's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 of that happen, and it's like you kind of want to avoid those pitfalls if you can, right?
Yeah, that was totally my fault. I was rushing down Chocolate Thunder, actually, and there was just a ledge that was hanging out, and I had left my wheel on it, and it just tumbled me right over. And so that's unfortunate, but yeah, last year I was definitely in a rush, I think, and I learned from that, and so now we're way better off this year. And then I have Amy. Amy is already queen at keeping me calm, because I get excited. I just love it. Like, I don't get aggro, I guess you would say, or any of that craziness you would expect. I just get excited where I'm like, yeah, okay, like, let's go faster. And then it's like, no, okay, just calm. You're good.
Gotta keep the car together.
Yeah.
I completely understand. This is going to sound really dumb. This has nothing to do with racing, but when I'm driving my Jeep in here, literally when I see the sign that says King of the Hammers a quarter mile, my, like, right turn signal is on. I'm like, literally, I have a quarter of my... But that's how you probably feel. You're like, yes. I'm so excited just to even be here. And I'm like, Tiffany, why are you turning on your turn signal a mile back to let people know you're turning right? Like I'm literally turning in here. I'm like, yes, the King of the Hammer sign. But I couldn't imagine being in even both of your, like, shoes and just being so excited about it. And you should give yourself credit, Sarah, for being in the Power Hour. You're such a phenomenal role model for many, many young ladies out there, even men that want to be able to do this. So don't give yourself, don't short yourself on that.
Well, thanks. There's 3 girls, though, actually. It's not just me and Kristen. It's Bailey Campbell in there, too. And I was like, dang, like, the girls are taking over.
I liked your hashtag Queen of the Hammers, too.
Oh, yeah, no, Kristen was starting that, actually. She was like, I wish one of us is, like, going to be the one that's the Queen of the Hammers. And, I know Jessie Combs, she's won the Everyman Challenge, right? Is that the one? It should be Every Woman and Man Challenge, but yeah, she was Queen of the Hammers and that, and so we need to just make that happen in UTVs now with one of us.
Well, and I know it's like, honestly, like, Pandora's box has been open. I know, like, Sierra Oma wants to come out. I mean, I work with Mia Chapman a lot. Mia's going to be here next year. They're trying to put a ride for her together. And like literally, all the girls, everybody coming up is like, we want to go to King of the Hammers.
Yeah.
We got something to prove.
It's a fun race, though. It's so different than what everyone's used to in us racing, short course, desert, and all that. This is a whole different ball game when it comes to learning terrain, learning what you're not used to, because you're usually trying to avoid rocks. You don't want to use rocks. And that was the first thing I told Amy, which is actually great that she doesn't have the experience of desert, because we would avoid rocks where I'm like, hey, see that big rock? I want my wheel on that so I can be higher and clear this other rock, where it's like people don't they don't know that until they come here and they're like, oh, okay, rock crawling's a whole nother thing than what we're used to. And it's just, I think it makes you such a well-rounded driver because, like, in Matomi Wash in Baja, you know, like, we come in there with a two-wheel drive trophy truck spec and it's heavy as can be and you don't want to get stuck. And it's like people are getting stuck because they're avoiding the rocks, where we learned, like, we use what we learned here to excel there, to use the rocks to our benefit, and, you know, we haven't been stuck there.
It's good to know. So
good to know. Jim's like, let me take these notes.
Yeah.
Well, for me, too, so this was my first time, last Sunday was my first time out here, and I'm like, there's no way we are going to make it up this. But these Polaris RZRs, Sarah's an amazing driver, of course, too, but where you can go in these things is absolutely insane. I was so impressed by the machine itself that if it was just Aaron and I out here, I'd be like, there's no way these would make it, but they just crawl right up it. It's insane.
Yeah, and we're in a pretty much stock Turbo S. So, like, it doesn't get any more, you know, stock than what we're driving. And it's funny because, like, a lot of people we're going out with, like Ronnie Anderson, our other Polaris teammate, he's in a stock RZR S too. And it's like, he doesn't even have a radio in his car. He's just like, no, this is brand new. Just hopped in it, you know, let's go. And so it's really cool. It's been awesome to see.
Well, I know because I've seen it. I've seen a stock RZR go up Sledgehammer when we were out here for Trail to SEMA. So it is possible. I'm so excited to watch them, Jim. Like, I'm like so excited right now.
I know. I feel like everybody's going to be rooting for you guys.
I think we have a big cheering squad.
I'll come out with a sign and sandwiches.
I think I'm going to be at Backdoor and Chocolate Thunder tomorrow. And I was like, go. My car, my car didn't quite make the cut here this year.
I know, you were supposed to be racing.
Yeah, it's sitting at IMG about 90% done, and I told James, I'm like, dude, like, let's not overnight this.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, James would. You know James. He's going to pull it together. And he would have the car here. And I was like, I don't want to take a car with 0 test miles, take hammers where I haven't really pre-run. I'm like, so I've got a brand new car that's ready for King of the Hammers for 2021.
There you go.
No, so I can do my homework all year long, sneak out here on weekends, things like that. So
I've learned, for the most part, stock is better.
Yeah.
I did all kinds of craziness last year, and I was struggling because of it. And so I'm like, okay, stock car, pre-running a stock car, racing a stock car, just do the safety stuff and add some gussets, you're dialed.
That's kind of us, you know, like with this car. We kind of upgraded, like we're not running stock arms and things like that. We used aftermarket, but nothing's like, it's not reinventing the wheel by any means.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Kind of don't need to with these things. They're insane.
No, it's Turbo S.
So
like,
good.
I've got this new 4-seater play car, you know, that's my pre-runner that for desert, and like literally it's pretty much stock. We upgraded the cage and that, and other than that, it's stock, and that thing, it's crazy how fast the Turbo S will go out of the box. It's nuts.
It is. It is nuts. I love my S's. I have a lot of miles in them, and I'm impressed, honestly. I have stock arms and everything, and I've been, like I said, thousands and thousands of miles at one time almost, and they don't break, and it's crazy to me because we put them through a lot, especially out here. And I'm in my dad's car, and I feel so bad because I have to give it back to him after, and I'm like, oh, man, that was a good one. Like, well, still together. We're good.
So what I feel like for next year, I need to find a 2-seat. I'm going to call it just my beater RZR, some old beat-up RZRs that I can come out here and learn in.
Yeah.
And just destroy. That way it's not one of my nice cars.
That's what I do with the race car. It's our car from last year, and I just framed it, basically, and just, redid some stuff, and that was it. Making a new car.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by. Power Hour. Good luck, Miss Price.
Thank you.
We'll definitely be pulling for you.
Yep. I want to see those signs out there, okay? Go, Amy. Go, Amy.
I'm so... I feel like we should have got, like, cardboard cutouts of Amy made and, like, riding the course. And...
She said in Backdoor, she's like, I'm just going to close my eyes right now. Like, when this comes to this point, they stay closed from here to there.
I'll tell you where to put your tire, and then I'm closing my eyes.
That's going to be where you want the audio recorded.
I want the interview after you guys go through Backdoor twice, and you guys have done it like phenomenally perfect. You know what I mean?
Oh, I need to be recording it as we go down it, and then we finish it.
You
if
have
we
to
make
have a GoPro
it
facing the car. Because I think I'm not just talking Backdoor. You two are gonna have a ton of fun, and I want to see the footage of you guys like high fiving in the car. And stuff like
we're gonna be like, yeah, made it.
Yeah.
That'll be funny.
Awesome. Well, we will let you guys go. Thank you for taking the time to stop by. Always fun.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Don't just shred your way through any off-road rugged terrain. Get into gear with GSP XTV and let us redefine your adventure. The GSP advantage of quality and performance sets a standard for UTV axles. We strive to provide premium ATV and UTV axles to keep you shreddy ready. Kick up some dirt and get in the driver's seat with GSP XTV. With over 35 years of experience, drive with a company you can trust. Drive with GSP. For more information, please visit us at gspxtv.com today.
Conditions off the pavement are always changing, so why settle for a light bar that just turns on and off? The Rigid Adapt is a revolutionary new light bar that will automatically select from 8 beam patterns that range from a widespread 90-degree flood to a 15-degree spot based on your vehicle's speed. Try that with your knockoff light bar. A dash-mounted controller allows the user to toggle between adaptive mode, beam patterns, and RGBW accent lighting. With Adapt, it's easier than ever to own the night.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound of the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. All right, moving on here out at King of the Hammers, got our next guest, the Matlocks, Kristen and Wayne. I got to spend some time with your wife yesterday in Backdoor, and
wow.
Yeah.
That was an interesting intro.
Yeah.
I think you guys are.
That's the first opener like that I've heard.
I know.
Oh,
My
got the
snorts
snort.
came out. Sorry. I snort when things are super funny.
This interview is going to go downhill so quick, but it's the truth. Like, if you start looking at all the names of all of these trails here at KOH, it's like, see, there was somebody with their mind way in the gutter when they did.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. There's a story behind all of them, too, I heard. Yeah. So we've only learned the Spooners one so far. That one's interesting.
I do know the Chocolate
Backdoor
Thunder.
seems
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Chocolate Thunder one is when we were here. So it was a gentleman who found it, but he had to go make some Chocolate Thunder back at camp. So he had to race really fast down the hill. That was what I heard.
What's Chocolate Thunder? What do you mean make it?
Oh, you're really going to...
No, he had to go use the outhouse.
Yeah, he had to use the outhouse.
So he was going
okay.
He was very
such a blonde moment right there.
I was like, wait, you're going to really make me describe what Chocolate Thunder is?
Yeah. So the Spooners one is 2 guys went out in Jeeps and didn't tell anyone where they were going. And they ended up getting stuck going uphill, the Spooners. And they were there all night. It was cold, and they ended up spooning.
All right.
There's a great story behind all of these. Now I know 2 of them.
Well, while we were all hanging out at Backdoor, I guess
the ship has sailed.
The ship sailed.
Yeah.
No, I know you were scoping it out. It was kind of one of those, like, I think you're just waiting until race day, send it down there, right?
Yeah, I don't think that there's a point of practicing that. You know, I mean,
Sarah said the same thing. Sarah was just like, you know what? Forget it. Race day, Amy.
Yeah, you have to do it. I mean, you either make it or you don't, I guess.
This year twice, right? It's like everyone's like, twice for real?
I know. Yeah. You feel like a hero when you make it the first time, and then the second time it's probably not going to go as well.
So here's a question for both of you. I mean, both of you are badasses in the desert. That's an understatement. How's the first time here at KOH in the Rocks? I mean, I know you're always very humble. You're like, yeah, Wayne's figured it out. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
But, I mean, how has the transition been? Because I know, like, I've got a car. It wasn't ready. I was supposed to be here, so we're going to do it next year. But, like, this is me honestly picking your brain from a desert guy. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing out here. Like, I'm honest enough in knowing, like, I just need to go in and figure this out. But, like, how has it been? Like,
we still feel the same way.
Yeah, it's still a learning curve. I don't think anybody ever really knows it. I mean, Guthrie's obviously do. But I think the trails change every time you go up them, too. So there was lines that we pre-ran when we were here 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. It was a line that was really good. She went right up it and everything. Yesterday, I tried doing that same line and damn near rolled the car, had to get out and winch it and everything else. It just went horribly wrong.
And I broke an axle on it.
Yeah.
And the first time I went through it, no problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
So it just it changes, and it's definitely different. You know, as a desert racer, you spend your whole career avoiding the rocks. And here, you aim for the bigger rocks so you can get traction on them. So that's been
And just hope
different.
they're not too big to flip you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely, I think if you spend enough time out here, you could learn not everything, but,
yeah. I mean, we've picked
you can
up
be
a lot.
better at it.
We've gotten a lot better since we got here on Sunday.
Mhm.
You know, just creeping our way up through rocks and trying to finesse the throttle. You know, in desert and Baja and stuff like that, and when you get to an obstacle, usually it's a silt bed, nasty sand, you're worried about getting stuck. So you just mat the throttle and go. Out here, you don't do that because you start breaking parts. It's completely different.
I feel like this one you just try to finish and then cross your fingers on your finish position.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of what my thought was, and before we had to pull the plug, I was like, if you come in and just go, I'm going to try and finish this race, I think you're going to end up pretty well. I mean, Menzies did it last year, first time ever, and he finished top 10, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't do it. He just kind of came in and he was very humble about it. Just came in and he did the work and just got through everything, and and.
Right. Yeah, you just got to keep moving forward. Try not to break everything.
Well, that's the thing. And you can watch all these videos on the internet and everything else, but then you actually get here and you walk the canyon and you start looking. You're like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. This is big.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the time, you can't even see a trail. You're just they point you that way. You go up that rock face, and that's it. It doesn't look like anything but a rock face to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely
What's
doesn't
on the
look
other
like
side?
a race course.
Well, and I feel bad because literally everybody we're interviewing and talking to, they haven't qualified yet. Poor Wayne, dude, you were the guinea pig of all guinea pigs. You weren't even in the first group. You were the first guy in the first group.
Yeah.
How was that? You were literally. I've been in that position in the trophy truck, and it's not fun because there's always a course worker not ready, or there's people. It's
Yeah, for me, it wasn't that bad. It was, I don't know what I'm doing anyway, so I didn't know any better. So the only thing that was not as fun was the infield. They groomed it, so there was no tire grooves, and it was a little slippery. So the car just was not wanting to hook up going through the turns, but you do the best you can. And just my goal was to get through qualifying without destroying the car and have a respectable time. If I can get around 20th, 30th position, I think we're doing fine. We're going to head out into the desert first, and that's kind of our jam.
And you're still starting ahead of 100 other guys that way.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
not bad for a guy that doesn't know what he's doing.
well, and it's one of those, you were so early and Kristen's so late. It's I don't know if there's anything you can even tell her because that course is going to change so much between when you did it and she's going to race.
Yeah, it's going to be completely different. The turns will be grooved out really bad. Some will be good that way, and some will be bad. So just drive what you can see.
Yep. I practiced it about 10 times yesterday, so hopefully it doesn't change too much. At least I know the direction to head.
Yeah, the general direction.
Right.
Well, was this an event you guys kind of both had the itch to come and do? I mean, for a while, I know all of us, Team RZR, we've seen everybody. We've seen the Guthrie success, and Sims has done well here, and everybody.
Yeah.
It's I think all of us have kind of eyed it, hey, I want to be there. Was that kind of you guys,
Yeah.
At some point, you just got to jump into the deep end and decide to do it, right?
Yeah, we came out and watched last year. We brought our kids out and came watch the UTV race for the day just to see if it's something we want to do. We're like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about doing it the whole time, and then we built some pre-runner cars, came out here the first day, first trail. I thought it was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we spent a bunch of money, a lot of time, and we need to put these things on the trailer. We don't know what we're doing. And did the first, did Chocolate Thunder, and then did, I think,
What's the next one?
Aftershock.
Sledgehammer?
No, we didn't do that one. Just whatever takes you up. Is it Resolution?
Resolution.
Yeah.
And then we did Spooners
Yeah.
going uphill, and it was like, okay, this is actually pretty fun. But, I wish we would have pre-ran the alternate lines, because now I guess you can use the alternate lines going around the bypasses. They announced in the drivers' meeting that the UTV race, you can take all the bypasses.
That makes that so much easier.
Well, yeah, and we were told that we couldn't when we were
Yeah.
pre-running, so we didn't. I don't even know where the bypasses are.
Yeah, we didn't even look at them.
The race line for Chocolate Thunder is so quick and easy, and it's really dug out. There's not a lot of rocks like there used to be because the buggy Jeep line is on the right, the race line's on the left,
Right.
and that's good for you guys. Like now that you can do that, that's amazing.
Is there a bypass around Chocolate Thunder? Is that what you're saying? Or?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
But just but if you didn't know, and then
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the only thing. They don't put the bypasses on the GPS, so unless you know where they're at, you're not going to find them. Or you'll see them after you pass them.
after you bypass
or
the
when
bypass.
someone's passing you on it.
Yeah, my hope is to get in behind somebody going into the rock sections that's been here before, knows what they're doing, and I hope I can just latch an anchor line to them and follow them through.
Yeah, is this when you're going over to the Guthrie's tonight and be like, all right, so
Yeah.
Tell me what you know.
Are you going to give us any info?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
they're good guys. They actually gave us some info and insight into different things, so it's good. You know, everyone that's racing with Polaris is really good. You know, we're even BSing with Phil Blurton with the Can-Am guys, and everyone's been super nice.
You know, that's one thing that's funny about, the UTV community, and, and I think in general, and even more so with just Team RZR, it's like we were talking about with Sarah and with Amy Quintero, it's like we're all a big family, and it's like I can be at one of the desert races and we have a problem, and we've all got just crazy stockpiles of spare parts and things like that, but it's like if we don't have something, I mean, I've got a Rolodex of people, and we're not pitting with them, but I can start shooting out text messages, and literally you've got 5-6 people. I've got it. They'll go to war for you, and I think I've never been a part of a family like I have been with Polaris, where it's like literally like we go to an event and it's an army. It's Team RZR.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really good. They've built up a good team, and it's fun to be part of it.
So, I guess looking past KOH, I mean, what's the schedule for you guys this year? Obviously, you guys are predominantly score and do a lot there. We're going to see you stateside at any of the bigger events?
Yeah, we're going to do the Mint coming up. So we'll hit the Mint and then the UTV World Championships, most likely.
In the States.
In the States. And then we're doing the whole Baja Series, the Score Series. And then the Nora Mexican 1000.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, we did it last year. We shared a car. So I drove half the day, she drove half the day, and then this year we decided, let's do 2 cars.
We don't like to share.
We don't share well. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. The Nora race is just a blast.
Yeah, so looking at KOH tomorrow, I mean, what's the game plan here? Just go in and try and be clean and kind of make your way through?
Just do it.
Just do it?
Yeah. And my game plan is don't break.
Yeah.
If we can get through clean and not have any issues, I think either one of us are capable of a top 10. But, that being said, there's 30 guys out there that are capable of that. So it's just who doesn't break, who breaks the least, who has a clean run. And, for me, myself, it's going to take a little more than a clean run. There's a lot of stuff we haven't learned yet, I think. So we'll figure it out.
I feel like this is one of those events where you just, honestly, you got to go in and you got to – I think it's sweat equity. You got to come in and you got to do it, and you've got to do it, and you've got to do it. And I think it's, you can have some success year 1, but I think it's, year 2, year 3. It's one of those. I feel like you just have to, you got to put in the time here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where I feel too.
It's like that with any race, though. If you, if you go down to Baja and you show up the day before the race and you expect to win, it's just not going to happen. You don't know where to pit, and even here today, I still don't know where we hit the center of chase trucks to. Or I know where they have to end up, but I don't know how to get them there. So we're going to discuss that still. There's a lot of stuff that we're learning.
Yeah, it's the homework about it. Baja, every back road, side road, here, there.
Yeah,
right.
Here I've been doing it my whole life.
Yeah,
so
here it's like, how does this work?
Yeah, it's weird being such rookies out here.
Yeah.
Just clueless.
Like, have no idea.
But that's actually part of the fun too.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. We wanted something different, and to get that heart racing again. It's definitely doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, I haven't come down off of this high since we got here, I think, pre-running. Just so nervous about everything. And then I was watching him qualify. I didn't realize how nervous I was for you until you were done, and then I felt like my shoulders drop. I'm like, oh, yeah, he didn't roll it.
It's probably pretty weird because, that being said, most of the time you guys are racing at the same time.
Yeah,
you probably don't get to watch Wayne very often, or vice versa.
Yeah, never.
It's like,
yeah.
No, we don't get to.
We
watch
see each other out on the course sometimes, but not very often.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of bragging rights at home, though, after the races? Like,
oh, always.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, our dinner time conversations are different than most couples.
I was going to say kids at some point are just like, Mom and Dad, come on now.
I know. You want to hold my trophy?
Yeah.
Just let me hold it. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's fun, too, because you guys race and, you've been really successful in NA. You've been really successful in Turbo. And I think it's kind of, I think a lot of people longest times like, Chris is going to step up to Turbo. And you've kind of been like, no, I'm kind of happy where I'm at. And
I love
I think
the
it works
NA.
for you guys. And I think obviously it works for Polaris having a top flight team there,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like being in separate classes. I mean, ultimately, we're going against each other for the overall.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice being able to do our own thing in our classes, too.
Yeah.
So
gives you a chance to take double victories, too, right?
Yeah.
Double victories.
More hard work.
Double the win bonuses.
That's true.
There's a strategy.
Yeah. I'm just so comfortable in that naturally aspirated car, too.
Well, and I think that being said, I mean, we talked about it out here, and I think, and obviously, I'd say the good portion of the field's in turbos now, but I think there's something to be said, even in the desert for an NA car, just I don't want to say the simplicity of it, but turbos, there's so much going on, and it's so much horsepower, and it's so much more. I mean, it's just there's so much more. I mean, wear and tear and everything else. Like I think there's something about to keep it simple with the NA car.
Right. Yeah, I agree for sure.
Yeah.
I probably should have went that direction for this race, but you live and you learn. Maybe I'll just get really good at the turbo after this one too.
Yeah. You're getting it figured out. I think you'll do fine.
Yeah.
I literally could just watch them all day, talk back and forth. It's like, you guys are the cutest couple.
Oh, thank you.
This is the first time meeting you in person and talking to you. And it's just, you can tell that you're really friends, too, at the beginning, like partnership friends.
Yeah.
It's just all awesome. And you're like, you want to hold my trophy? You want to hold my trophy? It's really good to see this. And it shows, like, the family, the camaraderie that Polaris does, that UTVs, and just everything that you can bring it together. And you can really just create a dynamic, partnership, and it's so
for
good
sure.
to see.
Yeah, it's definitely brought us closer together for sure. Not pushed us apart. We're competitive, but
well, you're not in the pits watching your husband out racing, or
right?
It's like now
it's something we do together.
You can relate to what he's saying, and things like that.
Totally, yeah. That's the way it used to be. I used to be in the pits watching him, and he'd come in with all these stories. I'm like, man, I want to be out there. So when you're telling these stories, I completely understand what you're talking about. That section or that section.
Yeah.
Now we get to say, remember that one section, and talk about it. It's fun.
Sometimes we remember them completely different.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, no, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by. I know you've got. I'm going to go watch Power Hour here in a little bit. And,
I know. I'm so jealous of him. He's done.
I know.
Yeah, but I'm excited for it. I'm going to go have some lunch and.
Lunch sounds good.
Do you guys feel any pressure? Because I feel like you guys are really kind of coming in like you're not putting. You go to Baja and it's expected. Matlocks are going to run up front. Here, I feel like you're coming in and you're very humble with your approach, and it's like I don't feel like you guys feel a lot of pressure. It's kind of come in and let's just do the race and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm still getting the Instagram messages saying you got this and all that, and that's pumping me up. But I don't think anyone's expecting either one of us to go out and just win this thing, which is good because we're not expecting it out of ourselves either.
Yeah, it's funny you get those diehard fans like, "Oh, you got this!" Like, I don't got anything.
No, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, you're so badass.
Yeah.
Not out here.
I'm still not sure I'm doing it.
You're pretty good in the desert sections. We'll worry about the rocks.
Yeah, we got 70 miles down.
Yeah, I'll do the desert section and just pull off.
Yeah, really.
That's why I was looking at it too, and I told my cousin who was going to co-drive with me, I'm like, at least we know we're not going to break in the first section because the first section's desert. So at least we'll get a little bit under. At least we'll make it to backdoor the first time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just there's a little bit of rocks in Cougar Buttes area, but
that's kind of pretty. It's kind of a pretty area. Like it's different.
It's a neat landscape.
Definitely, yeah.
There's a lot of really cool landscapes out here. It's definitely different than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No pine forest here either.
No.
Not at all.
A lot of dust.
There's snow on that mountain over there, though.
Yeah.
It's amazing what we're surrounded by.
I know. Yeah.
Well, you guys are fortunate in Alpine. You sneak south of the border. You can sneak down to Baja anytime you want on the weekends and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Or just for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that. Yep.
Yeah,
times.
it's about 45 minutes from our door to cross the border. So it's not bad at all.
No, that's not bad at all. Yeah,
No.
you guys don't have to worry about finding a Mexican restaurant. It's like, no, we'll go get real Mexican food.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We have our favorite places we go to in Tecate that are really good places. So it's just one of the benefits of growing up down there, and my family always was into Baja. So
Yeah.
we've explored a lot and done a lot, and that's what made us want to come do this. Is something different than what we've always done.
And I think that's what's interesting too. I know me, I've been a desert racer my whole life, but the draw here was something different. But I think that's said with Razors, like it's opened the doors to me to do a lot of different types of off-road I've never been able. You know, it's like I've been a desert guy and unlimited truck guy for so long, and it's like you can only do one thing. It's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Razors, I can go and do a trail ride in Baja with you guys. I can desert race. I can go rock crawl. I can go do short course in the Midwest. I can go mud bogging with high lifter down south. Like
you can do everything.
I can do everything.
It blows my mind what these little cars will go through out here. Like you pull up to it, you're like, there's no freaking way. This isn't going to happen, and it just crawls right through it. Yeah. It's like, holy cow. I have a hard time walking up this.
Yeah, we've only had to winch like twice total. So, and we've done almost every obstacle out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be the guy every obstacle. I'd have the winch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of made our mind up yesterday because we were horsing the cars up, and you're starting to beat them up because the lines are getting dug out. So all the dirt's disappearing. And so the holes are getting deeper and deeper, and it's thrashing the cars. And I was telling Kristen, I'm like, well, when we pull up to these hard obstacles, let's just pull the winch line and winch up, put the winch back away, and take off.
It's still a race.
Yeah, it's still, and it's way faster than changing an axle.
Definitely.
Or doing something stupid. And so just take your time. And like I said, was there 12 finishers last year?
Something like that. It was right around 10. I don't know.
Yeah, out of 120-something cars.
Something like that.
So
yeah.
if you just
Be
get through
smart about
clean,
it.
just be smart. So
Be part of the 10%.
Yeah.
I guess that's something you said. There's a winch on the car. You got Mitchie who said, I didn't winch at all last year. And I'm like, if you're one of the 12 that can get to the finish line and you had to use your winch 50 times, you still beat, like to me, it's,
true. Yeah.
It's there. Use it if you have to.
Yeah. And I see us probably pulling the winch out 3 or 4 times on certain things.
Unless there's a bypass now.
There's bypass. So there's some areas like where we winched yesterday where there was no bypass.
There wasn't.
So you just kind of just going to have to do it. And it is what it is. And we'll figure it out. First, we have to figure out how to use the winches. We never used them.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love winching
Oh,
people.
really?
Yeah.
The winches on the race car have never been used.
I
so.
feel like I'm literally everything you've said in this interview is exactly how I felt kind of going into this. Like I'm the same way with a winch. I'm like, I am so tomorrow living vicariously through you guys.
Like they told us we had to go stretch the winch cables. Like, that's a thing?
We do?
Yeah, so you stretch it so it's taut and then it's tight all the way back. I have a Jeep. That's the only reason I know about that. But yeah.
Just once or a couple times?
Just pull it all the way and then hold it and then just put your Jeep and then just hold it so it's all the way tight. So then when you re-pull it out, it doesn't get locked up.
Okay.
I just learned something.
See? Yeah.
See, that red Jeep over there that's the one that I have. So I've
pretty.
I have never been in a RZR. That would scare me just because it's all open. Trying to rock crawl. Like I'm in my Jeep. Yeah, I have a little roll cage. Yeah, I have a little of this stuff. But what you two are doing, I want to race this later on in life in a Jeep. But like what you two are talking about it and just being so humble about everything is just awesome. And you still laugh at yourself about certain things. You're like, good thing you think I'm going to finish this, you know? And it's just so good to see two people who are iconic in the desert come out here, kind of know it, and then it gives everybody else who's listening an opportunity to be like, all right, well, if the Matlocks think that, it's difficult, but they still want to go at it, I can still do this.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I think everyone should try.
It's doable.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. You just got to do it. And sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge,
yeah.
But it's fun. I like the technicality of it where you have to think the moves ahead because this rock path is going to lead you to this one, to that one, to that one. It's like a chess game.
Yep.
So you just have to play your cards right. And sometimes you get ahead of yourself, and you're like, oh, it's a really awesome line right here. And like, oh, crap. I should have took the little bit worse one here to lead me to a better one up there.
Right.
And so, and turning around on these trails sometimes just not an option. So.
And knowing your width of your vehicle, too, really helps you in the rock section because then you kind of know where you're kind of crawling. So what I always end up doing is I go like this if I know it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here.
Yeah.
Never works that way.
Yeah.
But,
it takes one rock sliding over like, okay, well, now I'm going this direction.
Yeah. That was my co-driver yesterday when we were pre-running a little bit. He's like, okay, this way. All of a sudden, my car went like this. I'm like, I'm going to go this way now.
You go the way the car tells you to go.
Yeah.
That's how you don't break. Just
Danny did
go
that
the
to
way
me,
the
too.
car tells you
Don't
to go.
fight it.
Nope.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, good luck. Good luck
Thank
tomorrow
you.
on the race. And,
Thank you.
Take all that stuff we can get.
Yes, please.
I'm sending good juju your way.
Yeah,
right?
please,
Trust me.
please.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
always
It's always
fun
fun.
having you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely probably have to do it again here at the Mint 400 in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
be
and we'll
there.
have a couple little boys you can interview too. They're going to race the kids' race there.
Are they really?
Yeah, the mini mint.
The mini mint. I think it's so
Yeah.
awesome they're bringing in the kids races this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Especially for you guys, you can have the whole family like.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll have their Clayton, our youngest, will be in his little RS or his little 170,
Uh-huh.
and then our oldest is now driving a RS1 with a restrictor in it for the kids. So he's pumped.
And I think it's awesome that Razor now has got, you start kids off. I started my daughter in a 170, and now she's about ready to graduate into either a 570 or an RS1. She doesn't race, but it's just us playing in the desert. But
Yeah.
they literally have a path up the, a stepping stone
path
up
of
the line.
progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up the lineup.
Yeah.
It's not where you got to throw them from a 170 into a turbo or something.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's-
Right, yeah.
It's really neat seeing it, like, because the RS1 is a very capable car. I mean, it's an awesome car, and they put the restrictor in there for the kids, and it doesn't restrict it all that much because the thing still does like 70-something miles an hour across the desert. But he's a really good driver. He's smart. He's cautious. His little brother's the one we have to worry about.
Yeah.
He's just full send.
He's the one you're going to watch out for.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's always one, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's that one.
The young one's the crazy one.
Yeah.
No fear.
Yeah, none.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll be rooting for it, and you'll see you at the Mint.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Anywhere is possible. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire's wide variety of tires for whatever it is that you drive. Whether you're looking for off-road capability balanced with impressive on-road performance or ultra-high performance offering all-season traction designed with a driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has what you need to get where you're going. General Tire, providing anywhere is possible with the Down and Dirty Radio Show since 2012. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Cranon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out VisionWheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more. Okay, we are still out here with Polaris RZR, King of the Hammers. Got done with Wayne and Kristen Matlock. We had Amy Quintero and Sarah Price. Now we got my guy. We see him in the Polaris RZR swag for the first time in the flesh, Mr. Brett Carpenter. How's everything going, guy?
Decked out. I'm good. Happy to be out here.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's funny. This is I don't know. This is cool. Like to me, like you moving into the kind of the race program manager here at Polaris is. It's great. You've been around the desert your entire, I don't want to say your entire career, but a good chunk of your life.
Yep.
And, it's, I don't know. I feel like this is like a solid fit, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's to have the opportunity to come and work for Polaris and manage the racers. I mean, this is what I love. Like the racing side of marketing is that's really where my passion is. I've been around racing for most of my life. To call this work is like insane to me. So, when I had an opportunity to come over here and manage the race program, I mean, just looking at the roster of drivers, that was a big part of it. And saying, wow, these guys win championships in multiple classes, multiple series, things like that. And, just to be able to really look at that and look at the roster and think about working with people that I haven't worked with previously, aside from, Ronnie and RJ and guys like that, and Seth and Mitchie. And, that's the part that really excited me is now I can come over and work with Matlocks and work with Sims and Carver and all these guys. That's what excites me to really expand that. And just bring some of that to Polaris as well. I think we can really do some big things, and obviously the goal is to win races, and that's what we're going to try to do. So
yeah, well, and KOH, I know we've got some marquee events for Team RZR, and this is literally at the top of the list. Yep. This is a big footprint. I mean, just about all of the Team RZRs here competing. I mean, there's a few that aren't, but I mean, this is a big event, and Polaris. I mean, you look back over the history of KOH and the UTV event. I mean, Polaris has dominated here.
Right, right. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, if you just think of the name Guthrie, right? Like that speaks for itself. I mean, between senior and junior, the Campbells. I mean, we have so many strong ambassadors and racers, and to go to battle with those guys, it feels good, And so there is such a rich history here in Ultra 4 and rock crawling, and now with the UTVs over the last 10 however many years, and I feel like we are at home here, and Polaris feels like we're at home here. So Mitchie obviously going back to back, and his dad with his historic run, legends, right? So the Campbells, it's great. So we're excited about obviously qualifying today and the big race tomorrow.
Yeah, well, and I think, like you said, I mean, qualifying, we got a lot of our heavy hitters. I know Wayne was in the early session, but we got a lot of our heavy hitters here in Power Hour, so I think it'll be interesting to see the way we shape up. And,
yeah, it'll be good.
I think this is an interesting race where it's one of those where, I don't know, I mean, qualifying definitely comes into play, but there's so much that can happen out there. It's anomalies. It's not just – something can happen to you, but it's not even your fault. You're just stuck behind somebody that made a mistake, and you're there for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, there's so many videos you see going around, people climbing over other people. And, yeah, I mean, anything can happen. It can happen to you in the first 5 minutes, or it can happen to you 5 hours into the race. Just obviously there's so many scenarios and so many variables in this type of racing, So, and then not to mention a roster of, an entry list of 100-plus of kind of the who's who of off-road and UTV racing. I think that just brings a whole new element to the competition. I mean, even, it's nice to see guys like Ronnie back out here again. And, I mean, there's obviously the competition with the competitor brands, and I think that only raises the level of competition. It's great for the sport, but you're just seeing so much more now. People want to come here and race, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, so, obviously we got King of the Hammers. I know we've got, man, it's – you and I talk quite a bit, but this is I feel like the start of the season, we've got so much stuff stacked back to back on top of it, Brett. I mean, it's like as soon as we get out of this, it's like we got another Best of the Desert race. Yep. We got Mid 400. You got San Felipe. Yep. And then short course gets started. It's like, dude, it's wild.
It's wild. Yeah, I know. I mean, and the biggest challenge is now racers. There's the kind of the split. With Best in the Desert and some of the bigger races like the Mint and UTV Worlds. Racers now having to pick and choose where they're going to compete. They also have to look at what their sponsors want, what classes they're expected to race, where they're going. I mean, they have to fund a program, and they're looking for the support, but they also have to make the best decision. Do I go here and run for a championship? Do I go here and compete for the big check and the prestigious race? So there's a lot going on, and a lot that's going to come down the pipeline here in the next month, and I think it's just going to get busted wide open. So, but that's fun, right? It keeps everybody on their toes. I mean, a lot to prepare for, but that's just part of it. That's part of the deal. That's where it brings out the grinders and everybody, right? And it'll be fun.
Well, and I think it's kind of exciting too. Is like you look at here at KOH, obviously. UTV division's the biggest division. Polaris, big part of that. You look at Best of the Desert, Score. I mean, some of the biggest, the biggest classes are always UTV divisions. You even look at like Midwest, the short course there, and back at Cran and stuff. UTVs, I mean, it's the lion's share of they're the biggest class. You get 30, 40 people competing.
Yep.
And it's UTV industry, and Polaris has been the big driver behind that. But it's like you look at racing, and I mean that's become. You always want to talk about Pro 4s and short course, Ultra 4s. You want to talk about trophy trucks,
right.
But UTV, I mean, it's created its own ecosystem. And, I mean, like the turbo division in the desert, that's one of the premier divisions in desert racing now.
It is. Yeah, and it's in a good way. I mean, it's to a point where, I mean, those are not – they're full-blown race cars, right? Yeah. They're massive vehicles. They're massive programs, support, out – that really, I mean, you can tell the elite teams that are doing it. But the cool thing is, in my opinion, I like to see the NA class and the stock class. I feel like a lot like stock class. I don't think gets enough love, in my opinion, because that's where you can relate it to the consumer. Like they look at that and say, "Wow, they're racing stock vehicles out there. I can go buy that." My kid wants to race. We can go buy that vehicle. That's obviously not the case for trophy trucks and Pro 4s and Ultra 4s, right? So that's what I think is so cool about UTVs is it is the most relatable to the fan base and the enthusiasts of off-road.
Yeah. Well, and we're looking at like a kid like Seth Quintero. I know talking with Kristen Matlock, you talked about like the NA class and the stock classes, and he's had success there. He hadn't felt the pressure he needs to move up to turbo. I know Kristen Matlock, she's like, I'm phenomenally happy in the NA class, and you start looking at the times like Seth's putting down the NA cars. A lot of tracks there. Yeah. They're right in the top part of the field in the turbos.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, you can see what Seth's doing. You can see what. See what Kristen's doing. I mean, Kristen goes down to Baja and smokes most of the turbo field. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, speaking of which, we're not going to do this and talk about Seth, and then he's standing there and not grab him.
He overheard us. He overheard you say
You hear
Seth.
your ears burning, Seth?
Yeah, my ears are ringing. I figured someone was talking.
Kind of felt like he was behind me doing something funny.
I was doing something.
I figured that.
Did you
see
my
later.
face? I was like, he almost gave you a wet willy.
But
I'm gonna remember that. This guy forgets I work for Polaris now.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. I'm in so much trouble.
It's all good.
Yeah, that's what's funny too, and like you're gonna have to go and listen to this, and he's probably gonna get embarrassed. But like we had his mom Amy here, and
your mom was on this morning.
No way.
Sarah.
Yeah, we had Amy.
She
on.
did it.
She did it.
Wow.
Yep.
She said you need to start making sandwiches though.
Yeah, she
At
said
the pit.
she's flipping the script.
I'm an umbrella holder. Yeah, here we go. I'm the umbrella holder. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's like, I'm flipping the script. She's like, Air Dog and Seth. She's like, yeah, they're the umbrella
She
boys.
is totally
this
living the racer life this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Interviews.
She's nervous though, but she's
right?
like, come MIP 400. She's like, it's gonna come back to haunt me.
Oh man,
it's great. I mean, I've been back at the pit, hanging out, watching qualifying. I'm just relaxing. It feels good.
No pressure.
No pressure. It's all my mom. I love it.
That's awesome.
So we haven't even talked to you. I know, you and I text here and there and stuff like that. But dude, Dakar. I know you went over there. We saw you at the Parker 250. You had to come back early. You're kind of doing your homework for next year, I think.
Yeah.
But how was that experience, dude? Because we haven't even talked about that. But that's wild.
Yeah, it was super wild. It was like a little rough going out there and not being able to drive a car. I think that was probably the roughest part. But yeah, just going out there and experiencing different cultures and different styles of racing was definitely a learning curve. So I'm actually pretty lucky that I technically wasn't driving. I have 8 more months to prepare and be ready to do the best that I can in the OT3 that Red Bull's given us. So it's gonna be a good learning curve. Going out of the country, never done that. I'm by myself, 17 years old. Parents aren't there, so it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. Well, at least you were going to a country where you can't get out of control in that country because you can't do certain things you can in the United States there. Yeah. So it's like, I guess them sending you to Saudi, that's like the safest country they could ever send you to. Like they send you to Amsterdam, like things can happen there.
Totally.
But
yeah, that alone kind of keeps you in check. Keeps everything.
Just knowing that
chill.
I'm there, I gotta be in check. Well, now I'm leaving to Dubai in a few weeks, so I'm really gonna have to be in check there too.
Yeah, Dubai's awesome though. There's so much just fun. That's a country that's they've embraced like motorsports and action sports none other than Dubai.
Yep. Yeah, they love that stuff. Obviously, the supercars over there. I mean, there's obviously no shortage of money over there. I mean, they
create their own islands, shaped like things,
right?
And like,
right.
You've seen they've got a zip line. Like out of one of the skyscrapers, like a zip
No
line.
way.
Literally, it's like a couple mile long zip line out of a skyscraper, like to the.
Have you seen the boat that's on top of 2 buildings?
insane.
It's like a couple hundred
Right.
foot long boat that's on 2 twin towers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They just do things to do things. Over
Yeah,
there.
they're like, oh, we're gonna put a boat on
Right.
2 skyscrapers real
Right.
quick.
So so as far as the preparation for when you finally get to race, I mean, are you 3-4 times over there this year? I mean, is that kind of what they've got you doing?
Yeah, so I'll be leaving to Dubai in a few weeks, and then after that, I'll be going to Silkway. I won't be racing.
Yeah.
I won't be able to race until October, but yeah, I'll be traveling a few times.
So you'll be
just
able to
get
do
my feet
Morocco,
wet.
though, correct?
Yeah,
So
that's
you
where I
will be able
started
to do Morocco
at that point.
Yeah, that's where I
nice.
first drove that car. It was in Morocco with the OT3 team, and we were out there, and I got to drive the car, but we weren't too sure if I was going to be able to race yet. It was kind of up in the air at that point, and ended up not being able to race, but I was still out there helping develop and test. And come around October, I'll be heading back for Rally Day Morocco and go try to see what I can do.
That's awesome. I'm so stoked. Like you gotta be excited.
Oh
about
yeah,
this,
just it's kind of rough because my parents. I'm full-time high school still, so just having to keep up with my grades because if I don't do good with my grades.
And you go to real high school, correct?
Yeah.
Because I know Mia
public school.
Chapman, she does online high school. She travels so much racing that
Yeah.
her dad's just like, no, we're doing online school. But you've actually stayed in school.
Yeah, I've tried to stay in school. You gotta have a backup plan. I'm sure racing won't be here forever. I'm not gonna be able to do what I do forever. So probably go
It's
get
also
my
part of the
major in
experience
business.
too, though,
exactly.
right? I mean,
yeah.
you got friends. It's
just social
part
skills.
Of life.
And,
yeah, you know.
Prom.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh.
sorry.
Okay, I haven't been to a prom yet.
You haven't?
No, so when I graduate, I have to race the 500 the next day. And so Heli Gym, I'm walking across my stage, walking out of the football field, and I hop in a helicopter and fly to Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So that's the coolest thing, I think.
That's
That's the coolest
like
thing.
a mic drop moment, right?
I'm out.
Yeah.
See ya.
Mic drop, I'm out.
Yeah.
There goes Seth in the helicopter. Like, that's kind of...
Only Seth.
Over the high
Only
school.
Seth, right?
That wasn't my
That's like
prom.
baller
Yeah.
status right there.
So
Like, that's,
Boss moves, right?
yeah, that's...
So pumped.
He made it sound so bad. He's like, prom, I'm really going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. But I'm going to get in a helicopter right from the stage and just
Yeah.
go.
Well, I haven't been to not one high school event in all of my years of high school. I've been to football games, but never
Not
been to
homecoming?
homecoming, never been to a prom, never been to a formal.
Do you have a Winterfest or something?
Yeah,
like
formal.
A formal?
Yeah, that's in a couple weeks, but I think I'll be in Atlanta for it.
Okay.
So with BFG. So,
Do you have girls asking you to take them, though?
No.
No? What?
I'm not that good looking. I'm not the cutest guy on the planet.
Yeah, I'll go to prom with you. I'll go to prom with you.
Deal.
There we go.
We're in.
Deal.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Race manager, matchmaker. Right?
Matchmaker.
Come on. Like, done.
Look at Brad. You're a man of many hats over here.
Yeah.
So what's so I know you. So you're juggling all this stuff. What's the other race schedule? I know we saw you at Parker 250. You flew back for that. I mean, so I got to think like the whole everything you got going with Red Bull's kind of taking precedence over some of the stuff in the desert. Like if there's a conflict, you're going to be there rather than racing, right?
Yeah. So fortunately, there is no conflicts this year. So I'll be running all the best in the desert, and then because I'm not 18, there's no conflict.
Nice.
So we got a video.
Yeah,
break.
we're good.
But yeah, so I'll be doing all best in the desert. I'll be doing the Mint 400 World Championships and all the races that I can internationally. So I'm booked. I'm definitely booked. I think I have 3 races in like 6 weeks with best in the desert. Or I go Laughlin, Mint, Laughlin, and they all have a week and a half, 2 week break in between. So it's gonna be rough trying to get the car done, but I think we can get it done.
That's what we were talking about before. A lot of guys are going to have to make decisions and pick and choose, and based on if they're running for championships. And
I know we were like we're not. Yeah, we made the decision. We're going to the Mint. We're not going to do the best of the desert race the weekend before. It's gnarly.
It's tough. Yeah, quick turnarounds.
I'm just glad that I have been working on my car since I was 14, so I can know the ins and outs of my car. So I'm a senior in high school now, so I get out at noon, so I have so much time to be able to work on my car. And then Dad gets home at like 5:30, and he's ready to help me work on the car. So it's just us two, but I think we can get it done.
But that being said, something like Dakar, where you're out there and like you're on your own, like you being able to wrench on your own car, that's a big thing because sometimes with Dakar and stuff, it's you got to use your ingenuity, you got to wrench, and I think honestly the fact that you've actually had to wrench on your car all these years, and you and your dad have kind of put in the work, like I think it's going to benefit you, when you start getting into some of this endurance racing because you're not going to be stranded out there like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah, I'll just pull a MacGyver move real quick and we'll get back.
You never know what scenarios you get yourself into.
Yeah,
out
just
there,
like
though,
Baja,
right?
same thing.
Well, I just had Toby Price on the show this week, and Toby and I were talking about that. He's like, he's like, with a bike, he's like, I've had to MacGyver stuff to get it there, and he's like, because you don't want to spend the night out there, and he's like, You know, and I think like you said, sometimes I think he's got the same background as you. He had to put in the work and learn things when he was a kid.
Did you see what happened with him and Andrew Short? Andrew Short gave him his rear tire.
I heard about that.
That was crazy.
Yep.
And then Andrew Short ran it the whole way on
like
the rim.
60 miles on a rim because he swapped with Toby, and obviously he felt Toby was in a better position to finish.
Honorary American.
Yeah, I mean that's
what I told him on the show. I was like, you realize like you're Australian, but we kind of claim you as our own.
We claim him for sure.
And he's like, dude, he's like, I feel like the United States is my second home. He's like, I come here and he's like, I've got as many friends here as I do there, and he's like, it's kind of cool to come here and have everybody root for me. You know, he's like, I've got two.
He's a professional guy. He's respectable. He's
an
friendly.
Ox. He's a big dude.
You see what he did at the Parker 425 with the hand throttle? I asked him about it, and he's like, yeah, it was a little sketch there for a bit. But
the shoelace, he's just pulling the throttle.
He's
that's
running
insane.
the throttle with his hand. I'm like, dude, that's gnarly.
Going 110 with the shoelace.
Right.
What are you
Aussie
doing?
ingenuity right there, right?
Yeah. Oh, these are crazy.
He's like, they invited me to drive their truck. He's like, I can't just quit.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Never give up mentality with that guy.
No, that's awesome. So, I don't know. You got the itch here to do a little KOH racing maybe in your future?
I did a little bit of pre-running with Mitch Guthrie, and the bug bit me hard. Rocks are cool. I didn't think I'd ever like rocks. I've had bad experiences with rocks in the best in desert, but slow and big rocks I think would be fun. So I think I'll be out here next year.
Yeah, I asked your mom because she's sitting here and she's doing all this homework with Sarah, and I almost said Toby Price, Sarah Price. Yeah, no relation. Right. But no, I was like, yeah, Seth, he's going to want to come next year. And I was like, he's got the veteran co-driver in the family now. And she's like, I'm not riding with my son. She's like, no way.
She never has. That's why I was so surprised.
That's what she's like. I'll go 80 with Sarah. She's like, no problem. She's like, my husband or Seth wants to take me at 30, and she's like, I'm like, let me out.
Yeah. Well, the one time she rode with me, we had a 2015 Polaris RZR 4-seater, all blue. It was our favorite car ever, the family wagon we called it. And it was me driving, Dad co-pilot. We're going down a wash. We're probably going 75, 80. We're cruising. We're definitely cruising. And I just hear, Seth! And she screamed for a while. I'm like, hey, just keep going. Just keep going. And all of a sudden, she just winds up in the back and just, boom, slaps me in my helmet as hard as she could. I'm like, okay, I'm done. You could drive. I give up. But she's a crazy driver. She's the most crazy driver. She'll go through a whoop section and just get all sketchy. And
get in a race car.
Might have to. She's driven my race car a few times.
Has she?
Yeah, but just up and down the street. Yeah. I don't let her drive her anywhere else. That's what they do.
Less margin for error.
Yeah, exactly.
Love you, Amy.
It's kind of hard to mess up going up and down the street.
I feel like I was laughing, too, because she's always got sunglasses, but I feel like she's got the swagger this weekend. Like,
oh, she does,
dude,
for sure. She's feeling it.
Dude, I've known Amy for years now. I feel like she's got a little swagger this weekend, though, dude. Like, she legit does.
I bought her a helmet and all this, and then I think what topped it off was Sarah Price got her Amy Quintero stickers. Then she felt real official.
That is official.
She felt real official.
That is awesome.
I'll bring a sticker by. Just a big old Amy Quintero sticker. They're like 12 inches long. They're not little guys. Yeah. I don't even have one of those.
I told her, too.
She's going to run one on her visor
exactly. Wraps around the whole helmet.
It was funny, though. Like, I told her, I said, we've seen Seth come up, like, since you were so small. And I was like, I feel like the entire industry, at least Team RZR, like, we all feel like we've watched you grow up and we've kind of been a part of your life growing up. And I'm like, so we all have like the utmost respect for your mom and dad. 100%. And you know what I mean? And it's like now to see her race, I'm like, dude, like she is going to have the biggest fan following at this event just because it's like everybody's going to be pulling for Sarah and your mom. Like even the teams that competing against her, they're like
everyone's laughing. Like everyone's just gonna I don't know. This race is so cool. Like the atmosphere, everyone's just laughing, have a good time. Everyone's pitting with each other, and it's definitely a different vibe. And I like it. I like it a lot.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that was even like Wayne and Kristen Matlock. They're like, do we really think we have a shot at winning this? They're like, no. They're like they're like our first year. They're like, we're trying to finish. They're like. If somehow miraculously we got in the top 10 because we finished and everybody else broke, they're like, great. You know what I mean? But, like, everybody's high-fiving them like, oh, you got this. And,
Which you never know,
Wayne's
right?
like, I got nothing.
That could totally happen. They're talented enough. And, I mean, give them a couple years, like, people like the Matlocks could figure this out.
Well, that's what I said. Like, with this event, like, even me kind of laying out our plan to attack this event. Now it's next year. We're doing our homework here. But I'm like, I feel like this is one you've got to put 2 to 3 years in to really be good at it. Yeah. And I feel like, and you just got to lay the groundwork, and I think, honestly, Dakar, something like that, I think with this program, it's great. It's like they want to groom Dakar champions, you know, and it's like, I think with Seth, they're taking this ladder, you know, they've got a process to do it, you know what I mean? And I think Dakar's one of those. I've talked to Ryan Arciero at length, who's gone and raced it, you know, and Mark Miller and guys like that, and they all say Dakar something you got to go and you got to put in the work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Year one, you don't expect to win. It's like you got to put in the work.
You've seen a lot of guys go over there and try it, and then weren't very successful, and they come home, and then you don't see them go back. But you're right. I mean, I feel like it's certainly level commitment, and this program that Seth's on, I know there's some commitment there for them to give her a go for a while. You know?
Yeah, it's just nice because there wasn't a lot of pressure on any of us.
Yeah.
They knew that it's a new car, it's a new learning year, and it was just kind of get to the end of the stage every day, and we'll be happy.
Yep.
And then just the boys winning stages, it just added a cherry on top.
That was awesome.
I think they won a total of like 5 stages.
I was going to say half
6
of them,
stages.
I felt like,
The last section they finally started figuring it out. Yep. I think they got comfortable with the road book. That was hard to learn, was the road book, because we had never been in a race scenario with the road book. We tested a lot with tracks that were already burned in Morocco, and we never got to test with a track that was completely flat. There was no tire marks, no nothing. And once you start getting later and later in the stages, there's less and less cars and less bikes, and the track's getting not as burned in. So they definitely figured it out in the end.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into it. Factors of, you know, even like the first bike, right? Like they always say, I mean, you don't want to be the first bike in Dakar, right? Because
you have a scroll.
Right.
You're looking down, going 100 miles an hour
no tracks,
with a scroll.
You're scrolling. Right?
Yeah, crazy.
Yep.
I have the utmost respect for those guys.
Yeah, well, and have you, like if you've ever seen one of those Dakar bikes up close and in person, they're big, they're heavy, they're gnarly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not getting on, you know, a CRF 450 or something. You know, these things are like, I mean, like you said, they're heavy.
Yeah, and then you have Toby Price that makes it look like a pit bike.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's an animal. Like, that guy's a beast. Like, not just because he's a friend. Like, that guy, I've never seen anybody, UTV, bike, trophy truck. That guy can drive anything. He's like, you want to talk about one of the most talented drivers in the world? That dude right there.
Yeah, and it came out of, I feel like it kind of came out of, not nowhere, but I never knew he could drive until he got in a trophy truck in Australia.
Right.
And I see him driving, like, oh my God, this guy's fast. And then he came to the men a few years ago and started running up front. I'm like, man, this is dangerous.
Natural.
Yeah.
Natural.
Guys
he
like
connects
him
with the right people and works. He's done a lot of stuff with Tisco and Jesse Jones, and you know, he's got good people helping him. But man, that's a recipe for a solid.
He's one of those unicorns. He's like almost like a Pastrana that can get into anything and be good. Like, once in a while, there's like one of those unicorns, and those guys are like there.
I envy those guys.
Unicorn, right there.
We got our young.
How are you on a dirt bike, Seth?
I'm pretty. I mean, I'm solid on.
How are you on a pit bike?
Pit bike's another level. Somebody come race me on a pit bike. Oh man, that's all I have out here is my 110.
Have you seen James Hill's new pad?
Yeah, I might have to go over there.
No, well, James. So he told me when he was buying this, he's like, I'm buying a house. He's wanted a house with property for so long, and it's so expensive in Elsinore, and he found this property. Well, it had like an old meth house on it.
Yeah, it was completely just.
But he's like,
disgusting.
I've got this vision, and it backs up to like this like state land where you just take your UTV or RZR out the back door and go and hit the trails and like. So he bought it for the land, but now he's got this full-on like
big old
supercross pit bike track, and I'm like, dude, it's like a total like.
There's like 15 jumps, like
really?
Like with 8-foot gaps, and lips are like 10 foot tall.
Even
crazy.
Twitch, I think, showed up over there.
Yeah, Twitch was over there. Twitch has got a line in his backyard too. Yeah. Everyone's starting to get on the 110 grind. I like it.
Coming back.
Yeah. I remember my dad when I was like 4 used to do that on the 50s.
That's so crazy.
And I used to sit on the back, and I thought I was the coolest 4-year-old ever. Sitting on the back, watching my dad do freestyle tricks on a 50. Those were the good days.
Those were the good days.
Yeah.
Sorry, just hearing you say those were the good days, talking about your.
I feel old.
Like you're 17. You're like, those were the good old days. I'm like, your good old days haven't really, But when you're starting out so young, of course,
Being put into this industry just makes you feel older. I swear. Like I was 11 when I got into it, and 14 when I started taking it super seriously. And I feel like it matured me so fast that I feel older than I actually am, for sure.
Well, and I feel like, too, like you've had, your parents have been phenomenal, but it's like your mom was saying, like you've got so many people where we won't allow you to step out of line just because we'll allow you to be a kid, but but it's like nobody will, because we recognize the talent and, and I truly mean that, you've got world-class talent at such a young age, and it's like, I think none of us will allow you to screw it up. Not that you would, but it's like everybody like, no, Seth.
No one in this family will let me fail.
Yeah, Seth's got a lot of mentors. He's got a lot of big brothers, essentially.
Yeah,
and he's got good people on his side. He's got people like people like Craig and Joey and everybody that's kind of had a part in elevating his career. That's, I think, what's going to help, progress him farther than most.
Yeah.
So.
Big old family.
Yep.
One big family.
Yep. Like your mom said, he's got a lot of aunts and uncles,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Totally yep.
So, well, I don't know. It's.
I just said, if you still need a prom date,
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
I was actually
T-Stone's on
watching
prom.
our video or our podcast from the World Championship, and I didn't realize that there was a camera on my face most of the time. And there was this one part you pulled up, or me and Jim were talking, and then you were all, okay, I thought of a name for your car. And you said Regina, and my face just dropped. I don't know why. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I was looking back at that.
Regina George.
From Mean Girls.
Yeah, and I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Still don't know. I still haven't watched it.
because remember we aged ourselves.
Yeah.
We started talking about music, and Seth's just like, and I'm like, Brett, like, I guarantee every band we threw out, Brett would be like, I know what's up.
Well, because I was about to say I went to prom 15 years ago, and so, like.
It's almost my age.
I know.
Now she's not going to prom.
Maybe I'm going to take a different date.
Throwing shade at
Oh, my God. You don't want to take a middle-aged woman over here in her 30s? I look 25.
I mean,
You're
this
right.
best possible
You're right.
way. This would be throwing. You'd be like, I'm taking a Maxim model to.
I did Maxim. Yeah, I
she
did
was
Maxim.
in Maxim. It was a
SHM,
decade ago.
Sports
She was in
Illustrated.
Maxim.
I got a Jeep. I could drive you around in.
So you were in Sports Illustrated when I was 5.
Probably.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Man, Seth is really just getting me right here today. I think I'm done, Jim. I'm done.
We'll bring the cameras
You guys-
back for the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
for
We're going to
sure.
need, need cameras for round 2.
My facial expressions in that video, I was just dying. I was saying little clips to my mom. Like, I was sitting there, I was looking at her, and then my face just went and dropped. I'm like, what are you talking about?
What is funny, too, is like I can drop stuff on my YouTube channel. The ones we've done at RZR Remotes have done so well.
Have
Like,
they?
literally, like, thousands of views. And
Yeah.
it's funny because it's like, I don't know. It's like I can drop something on there, and it's not a big channel. You know, it's like got like 1,200 fans or something. But the stuff at RZR Remotes, like, numbers are crazy.
Yeah.
You get people like Seth and you get all the athletes and they're in their element. I think that's when you get the most out of them.
Oh, for
you know?
sure.
And they naturally just want to open up and talk about what's going on and talk about things that if you were to do a radio interview with them, it's not fresh on their mind. They're not in the moment. So stuff like this is awesome. And I think that's why people can relate to it.
Like the video series that we're doing with Red Bull, me, Mitch, and Blade, how it's just kind of following us through our learning experience. I feel like those are, I mean, it was really cool to see because like all my family, all my friends, everyone's watching it. I think it was doing well because it was so relatable. Because we were in our element, we were all having fun, and it's like not something that's unreachable.
Yeah, that's
you know?
the cool stuff
I'm
to
17,
see. Right.
and there's people that are younger than me that are aspiring. Like I actually just sponsored Chase Mankin. He's part of Quintero Racing now. I'm helping him out, trying to just do little things for him. You know, I'm trying to connect me to the youth because I feel like there's a big gap between, like say RJ and Ronnie and people like them, like the legends, honestly, and then me. I feel like I was kind of sectored in. There's only a select few of us, so I'm trying to bridge the gap to the younger generation.
Awesome. People paved the way for you, right? You
Yeah,
pave
so
the way.
my turn.
It's awesome.
My turn.
Awesome. Well, I don't know. I think it's time to sign off here from KOH T-Stone and Brett Carpenter here from Polaris. I'm getting used to saying that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Brett Carpenter from Polaris. Seth Quintero, who I don't even know how to explain you anymore.
I'm a professional fun haver. Is what I'm gonna call myself.
Professional fun haver, part-time sim racer.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I've been
Your mom's
lately.
ready to eBay that thing, by the way.
Yeah,
your
no,
mom's
I know.
like, dude, the sim machine, it needs to leave.
Well, I had a race tonight at 7, and I can't do it. I'm not home. I was
set up in the
I was
media
just supposed to
center
hop in the
here,
Pro
man.
4 and run with like Mitchell DeJong and everybody, and man, should have brought it. To be honest, I should have brought
You'd
it.
have a line of people if you could get that. Well, getting that kind of internet out here, good luck with that. But
Yeah, that thing's so heavy.
Oh yeah.
To get it in my house, I used 3 jacks, and plus my dad.
Oh my.
Yeah, so we had jacks rolling through our house with that thing.
I didn't. I told your mom. I was like,
doesn't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know I've got him in the chat group with my guys,
Yeah.
and they're like, it's funny. It's just trash talk.
They all make fun of me, yeah, because I'm the young buck and my Wi-Fi is so bad, so they made fun of me
Well,
for
they give
probably
him
like
crap
3 days
because
straight.
like they mean it in the best possible way. But like, here's this world class guy going to Dakar and stuff like that, you know. And then his sim racing times are.
What are you on dial up or what? What's up with your Wi-Fi?
They're getting
Yeah.
better. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I'm not the fastest guy in a sim, but I'm getting up there.
Dude, I'm horrible in a sim, so I'll like straight up. There's a reason why I don't own one. I own a sim sports team. I don't own
not
a
the sim part.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, your mom totally ready to punt that
Oh,
thing.
for sure. Because I'll have like 10 people over the time, and everyone just throwing laps down on it, and I have that thing cranked. There's a big sub on it, so you feel it all the way through the house. So you feel like you're in the car. It's crazy.
So funny.
We're partying at Seth's house.
Yeah, what I want to do is I
throw
want
the
to
next Razor party at Seth's
yes,
house.
totally.
To
Yes.
show the Quinteras and sim race.
What I want to do is I want to get like RJ, Ronnie, Craig, me, Miles Cheek, people like that, everyone that races, everyone $5 in. We're going to hop in the Pro 4, whatever we want. Everyone get a couple laps, testing, and then we're all running our fast lap. You have 3 laps to do it. Winner takes all.
There you go. Tournament style, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. We might have to think
Set
of
it up.
something. Might have
Set
to.
it up.
All
Set
right.
it up, dude. I will come out for something
Let's
like that.
do
It'd
it.
be fun.
Your mom will love that even more, right?
Yeah, she'll love me.
You know what we're gonna do though? Like we'll do it, and we'll book your mom like we'll get her like a 5-star hotel room and a spa
I'll
or
send her
something
to
like
Cabo
that.
or something.
Yeah, like we'll do it. We'll like Amy, we're coming over. By the way, here's your 5-star resort.
exactly.
You know, we'll send her with your sisters or somewhere where they get to go like have a spa day and stay at a hotel.
Get out of the house. Get out of the house.
Room service, and then we'll just be like we'll be over at the house. Like that's the way we'll set it up.
Everyone bring a sleeping bag. We're having a massive sleepover.
That would be fun.
That would be so fun.
That would be a good time.
Cool.
All right, signing off here from KOH with Polaris Razor, Jim Beaver, T-Stone, Seth Quintero, Brett Carpenter, and race day tomorrow, and I don't know, a whole lot of good times to come.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.